an Unspoiled Network podcast.
This is Unscrupled, covering Angel and his friends. And his work buddies? I'm not sure. Season 4, episodes 5 and 6. Supersymmetry and Spin the Bottle. Sorry, I knew I would get it. I got there. In these episodes, we get more about people I don't care about. Welcome to Unscrupled. Who the fuck are you?
Bitches. And who the fuck are you?
I'm Money, and together we are Bitches and Money. You're getting so good at this. Jeff is so proud.
I know.
So what are your opinions of these episodes?
So, I really actually kind of like Supersymmetry. I like that Fred gets to actually fucking do something for once and have some agency and get angry in a way that it's not super allowed for women, especially Southern women, to get angry, and that pleases my angry little heart. But the one after that, Joss.
Yeah,
Joss, you're recycling your gimmicks now. It's lazy.
It's a bottle episode.
Yeah.
So it's this is where having 22 episodes per season with no 100% guarantee that everything's going to be shown in order really starts to affect your story, because you get filler, like I would argue both of these episodes.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, yeah, I don't feel like we have advanced anywhere further. The only thing that I need to know that I didn't know before these episodes is that Connor and Cordy are definitely having sex.
No, they aren't.
They aren't?
They are not having sex.
So, the beautiful, lovely, half-demon, chosen by the gods, Cordy slut, has slept with a total of one person.
She slept with more than just Xander. She slept with more than one person. I'm pretty sure they're just kind of discreet about Cordy's goings-on.
I mean, sure.
It is a children's show. I know.
It's just like, I really like Cordy, and,
Connor...
when Cordy was still in Sunnydale, they were being a little bit honest about Buffy losing her virginity, even though it was to a man who was massively older, and she had agency in that, and it's like, Cordy has always been incredibly mature for her age and honest with herself, and we have only ever seen her with Xander, and that ended with some rebar through her chest. So
there was the episode where she went on a date, went all the way, and then ended up with a demon pregnancy.
I thought I remember that he didn't actually fuck her. He just sort of left her there for the demon to impregnate her.
There's been multiples of these. She's had demon pregnancies like 3 or 4 times now.
Okay.
It's pretty awkward. But yeah. So, you know how I know they haven't slept together? Because she was repulsed by kissing him.
Okay.
I mean, come on. Like, let's be real here. But also reasons. Anyway, so yeah, they totally haven't banged. But yeah, I really like the first episode of this, and I feel like the second one's kind of lazy. How about you? How did you feel?
I really want to like Gunn, but none of his decisions feel organic. They're all plot driven. He's like he's an episode of season 8 of Game of Thrones all rolled into one. Like, the plot needs him to be here. The plot needs him to be in love with Fred. And it doesn't feel organic for him, so it feels kind of rehearsed and weird. I don't think that they have any chemistry. I think Fred is a pile of tropes glued together with fetishes, and
She's there to be the girl that people are in love with.
I was so angry because in the first 10 minutes, not only is Fred a Mary Sue, which at least has some agency, but then she gets damseled.
Yeah, but then in the course of being damseled, she, says, fuck this shit. I'm gonna gather my resources and go kill this motherfucker all by my lonesome. And she nearly succeeds, and then Gunn does it for her like an asshole.
Yeah, and that's another thing that pissed me off about this episode, because it's been so harping on how it's important that you never kill someone, even if they deserve it. And it keeps happening, and the only ramifications of it are that that person feels bad.
Yeah.
There's no one ever gets broken up with. No one ever, there's no dumping. There's no one ever says, I can't trust you. Even coming back from demon murder everyone, it's still, yeah. So why do we have it here? What is the fucking point?
That's fair. So I think what they're talking about is more an internal change. I think they think of it as a line you can't cross because you'll feel bad inside. To which I say, that's my fucking weight to carry. Thank you very much, Gunn. I feel like, okay, so if I murdered someone tomorrow and you didn't know anything about the circumstances therein, would you just immediately stop being my friend?
I mean, you and me? No.
Right.
I know you. You just, they had it coming.
Exactly.
They cut you off in traffic, and I disagree with your decision, but I am ride or die. So let's go bury the body.
Right. Exactly. I feel like if you've known a person long enough, you're gonna give them some benefit of the doubt.
But it's everyone is it'll change you. You won't be the same person anymore. And what they're getting at is, you won't be afraid of killing, the kind of downward spiral I thought they were going to go with Willow. They sort of did with Faith until they didn't.
Yeah.
Right? Faith is a terrible human being who steals bodies, and then suddenly she's gets a hug from Angel, and she feels bad and decides to turn herself in and go to prison. Which she should be getting out at some point soon.
I suppose we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're getting, they might be getting at the thing where once you pop, you can't stop.
But yeah, they keep doing that, and then eventually what happens? They stop and feel bad about it.
Yeah. Willow stopped murdering. Even Angel stopped murdering. Hell, even Spike stopped murdering.
Spike stopped murdering.
I'm pretty sure Spike could have found a way to murder by now if he was really invested in it.
Yeah, I feel like he could have done some kind of Rube Goldberg or booby traps or something.
Yeah, I'm totally picturing dropping pianos on people's heads.
Right.
And it's he can't be the one to trigger it, but he could trick people into triggering it themselves. That's totes easy.
That's kind of the thing, is that proximity to our protagonist means you become a good person.
Yeah, pretty much. All you gotta do is hang out with Buffy or Angel for long enough. It even fucking
happened to Leslie.
Oh, yeah.
A bad guy. A guy that we're not, we're supposed to enjoy but not root for.
Oh my god, goodness is an STD.
Yeah.
And yeah, Wesley, as he's spending less time with Angel and more time with Lila, is becoming less good.
Yeah.
Maybe. Who's to say?
Maybe. Who knows? But he's still, all that shit with Justine shows that, in the end, he's going to do the right thing. And I'm just okay, can you, surprise me just a little bit?
I thought him, enslaving her, keeping her in a closet with a bucket was pretty surprising.
No, the things that this show will do in service of the protagonist's goals don't surprise me. What would surprise me is if he went against the protagonist.
Oh, okay. Like that time he kidnapped his infant son?
I feel like that's still serving the protagonist's goals of keeping the baby safe.
Oh, yeah, because it was for the greater good and
exactly.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I feel like Angel would have done the exact same thing to Wesley. So...
Yeah.
I just, it can't commit to this moral cliff that people keep going off of, and they keep being pulled right the fuck back up. So
So this was actually a major theme at the time. It was also quite prevalent in Xena, where it was the idea that once you take a human life, it's a line you've crossed and you can't go back and blah, blah, blah. And there's like supposed to be all these, moral and spiritual repercussions, none of which are ever actually manifest.
It doesn't stick.
Yeah. Like, people are just fine later on. Like, Willow, I'm sure if you asked her about it, she'd be like, yeah, I feel bad. But in her day-to-day life, she doesn't think about it. She's pretty much happy-go-lucky Willow on the regs right now in these episodes. Yeah. Well, in the episodes we saw last week. Mm-hmm. Anyway, point being, you're absolutely right. They talk about the moral implications of taking a life, but we never actually see any evidence of that.
Right.
And that's sloppy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So maybe this time they will. Maybe Fred will dump Gunn for taking her revenge, or not trusting her to make decisions, or maybe because now he's got the taste of human blood in his mouth and can't get enough.
Well, he's dusted his share of vampires and then some, so possibly. Honestly, I'm all focused on Fred on this episode. I think what Gunn did was wrong to take away her agency like that. And he's gonna come out of this thinking he did her a solid. And that pisses me off too.
Also, having been an academic.
Yeah.
You know very, very well that the first time your friends, family, and lovers read your paper is not after it's published.
No, indeed.
You've read that about 60 times, and you are fucking sick of it.
I think she didn't show it to Gunn because she knew Gunn wouldn't be able to understand it.
I think she didn't show it to Gunn because they hadn't decided that she was publishing something until this episode.
There's that, too.
Yeah.
But... you could have fixed that with a single line. It's like, baby, I've read this a million times, but I cannot wait to see it in print.
Yeah.
Yeah. But honestly, there's no one in that hotel who could understand it.
There's no one in that hotel for her to run experiments with, so I don't know how the fuck she got published.
Right.
I hate that nobody on TV has ever, ever, ever even been in the same room as someone in academia. You don't just have ideas and write a paper. You need to fucking prove it.
Yeah, there's extensive research. There's experimentation.
Even in theoretical physics, you have to, the lit review alone, plus you have to provide some evidence. And that's not something you can do in your downtime in this hotel between fighting demons.
Yeah, believe it or not, academia is a full-time job. Yeah. It really is.
Just the idea that Fred is so uniquely brilliant that she, as an undergrad, impressed her professor so much.
Oh, she was a grad student.
Was she?
Yeah.
I thought she said she changed her major.
She changed... Okay, she changed her... Huh.
Because they gave the very strong impression that she was doing history, and then she changed her... you can't change your major in grad school. You're bought in.
Yeah, but when she disappeared, she was in grad school. So, yes, she had him as an undergrad, but she was directly studying under him in grad school.
And then she started working on WIMPs during undergrad, which is no, not buying it.
I don't know what a WIMP is.
It's her, the acronym for something.
Yeah, she said it, but it didn't stick because it was dumb.
No, it was very stupid. And it's just, she's so uniquely brilliant, and, they're so impressed with this one paper that she is now the keynote speaker at this conference. That is not how it works.
No, indeed. Well, she wasn't keynote. She just had a prominent position.
You don't get a prominent position when you have a paper, especially if you don't have a PhD after your name. You get 10 minutes and 3 slides on an easel.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, it's frustrating because they're Mary suing her into this giant intellectual heavyweight who is also kind of clumsy and stupid when it comes to human relationships. Also, she's good at combat. So,
well, okay, she's not great at combat.
She's better than either of us.
I was in the military that one time,
How many vampires have you dusted?
Vampires don't exist in our realm.
Right, because Fred has been here. Anyway.
Thank you. God damn you.
It's just, yeah, and then they do a total 180 and she freezes up when a fucking tentacle monster comes out of the ceiling and I'm like, oh, look, they need to go save her. And I'm just like, this is a pile of tropes.
Well, she was kind of picked up without any, like, weapons or know-how or anything.
Yeah, still, it's like, it's a trope on top of a trope. And yeah, there's an in-universe justification, but you're pulling the Thermian argument on me. It's like the historical document says that was what happened. It's like, no, these are not historical documents. A writer chose for this to happen.
That's fair. Yeah. So, I guess, like, I don't know, is there anything else to say about that episode other than Fred got to be badass for a second, then had all her agency taken, and it was a pain in the ass?
I was kind of shocked that they didn't try to figure out where the other students went, because if Fred could survive, maybe they could too. Right?
Like, how many... Did he send them all to Pylea, or were there other hell dimensions?
And I wonder if this, like, if there's a whole ass, like, deleted 10 minutes, because it felt very much like they were trying to make the TA the bad guy.
I feel like TA was red herring guy.
They didn't spend much time on her.
Yeah.
So...
But her whole point was to be not as good as Fred.
Yeah, and that's a much more compelling motive for throwing...
Oh, yeah, totally.
It's still tropey and stupid, but it's better than the professor doing it.
Honestly, I want for them to both have been doing it and not, like, talking to each other about it.
Right.
Like, she'll get, you know... she'll get feelings of inferiority from, you know, a classmate or a grad student or something, and she'll throw him into a pit, then he'll get feelings and throw them into a pit, and, like, they could just switch off. It'll be fun.
There are much more effective ways to be a very shitty man in academia. Like, if you're intimidated by very smart young women in your field, what you do is you take them on as grad students, and then you steal their work, and when they complain, you call them crazy sluts, and they'll never get a job again.
This is true. We've seen it happen in real time.
We really have. So why are you throwing them into a hell dimension where you can't steal from them? Doesn't make any goddamn sense. That's why I thought for sure it was going to be Lori.
Right, because Lori couldn't steal from them on her best day. She hasn't got the access.
Right, she's trying to get rid of her competition.
Right. So. But anyway... from this, what we can see is that the showrunners never did college. Or if they did...
They probably went to film school.
They probably went to undergrad, though. I mean, like, once you even start talking to graduate students, and, like, most of my friends in college were graduate students because I was old as fuck... yeah, you find out that the way things work for undergrad and the way things work for grad students are inherently different. Mm-hmm. On purpose. And it's just, the two cannot be confused in this way.
All right, so Wesley was there.
He's
clearly still nursing some feelings for Fred.
Well, yes. His entire purpose was for him to for her to go to him and ask for some help that she didn't actually need. Fred doesn't need help opening a portal. She's been, like, she did that out of her brain once.
Yeah.
Like, for fuck's sake, guys. Why is she getting that book from Wesley? And
we also get some quality Lila and Wesley time.
Yeah, they're my favorite.
Gives him a gift. I'm kind of about this. I like this. I wish that, like, this is why I wish they would just push Wesley over the cliff. Like, go be evil. You're a lot more interesting there.
You guys can't see it, but I'm grinning and nodding.
Yes, she's all wet, too. She's sitting on a sponge. I swear to God.
Oh, please. I need a much bigger sponge than that.
Yeah, and Lila shows up there, and then she bails, and the tentacles come out.
Like you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
tentacle monsters keep attacking her in the just the damnedest places.
Mm-hmm. And then Angel fucks up her BMW roof.
Yeah, like And he talks about ripping her car in half, and hello, that's not what you did. It's a cloth cover. I could rip that up. I mean, I'd need a knife or something to get purchased, but once I had that, I could just rip it. Yeah,
I think you might have difficulty leaping from the entrance to the parking garage onto her car, though.
I'm gonna try anyway.
Okay.
And
I'm starting, because I was so annoyed with this episode, I was kind of fantasizing about what Lila's actually up to.
Crime?
It's just, she's in charge now.
Yeah.
So, it is in her interest to take out Angel, and it probably wouldn't be that hard. But she's not doing it. So I think what she might be doing is putting Angel in a position so that he will do something to Wolfram and Hart, and she will be even higher on the totem pole.
Interesting.
Yes.
Well, okay.
Because I kind of feel like, knowing what I know about Lila, I know that Wolfram and Hart, the higher-ups are actual multidimensional beings, and they want to cause an apocalypse and profit off of it. But Lila lives here. So I feel like she may have a long game in getting Angel to prevent the apocalypse and therefore take some of her bosses down, so that she can either A, take the Earth branch of Wolfram and Hart and make it go still evil but legit, and with her having all the money, or, destroy the whole thing and walk away with all the money. Either way, I feel like she wants all the money.
Okay, so there are a couple assumptions you're making that are wrong that were established in previous episodes. So I'm just going to mansplain them at you real quick.
Okay.
First of all, the branch of Wolfram and Hart that she's at is not the quote-unquote Earth branch. It's just the LA branch. There's other branches in various major cities, such as Paris, etc.
Okay.
Secondly, the senior partners have said in many episodes that they do not want Angel harmed. He has to be able to fulfill whatever his role in the upcoming whatever it is. So she can't just take him out.
So so that order didn't come from the boss she beheaded.
No, that came from the senior partners.
So the senior partners don't. I still feel like she has a long game and Angel's a pawn in it somehow.
Without a doubt, it's Lila. She's probably got 17 long games, and she's just waiting to see, what happens next, so she knows which plan to go with.
Possibly. I don't think she has that many. She's a Varys, not a...
Okay, not 17, but probably at least 4.
Yeah, she knows, she feels like she's someone who causes chaos and has pieces all over the board so she can take advantage of any outcome that happens.
Yeah. It's why she's my favorite villain in the whole Buffyverse, I think.
Even more than the mayor?
Even more than the mayor.
All right.
And she has more screen time than him.
Yeah.
And she's sexy.
She is very sexy in a late 90s kind of way.
Yeah, and I was a late 90s kind of girl.
Yeah, we discussed this with Girlfriend when we were talking about Vincent Kartheiser, and it was like, no, this is what 90s hot looks like.
Yeah.
We may not be into it now, but there was very much a time that was it, and we have sense memories of that, so do not.
Yeah. There was a time for that, and it's when I was in puberty.
Exactly.
So it's double strong.
Yep. So, yes. And Gunn breaks the guy's neck and throws him in
a pit.
Wesley's there for some reason.
Who cares?
Yeah.
But they don't tell Angel what went down, because all he can talk about is banal things. It's like, wow, threw him to his own hell dimension. Good job, Fred. See, Angel gets it. How come Angel gets it, but Gunn is like, no, it's still too much. She's like, hello, I'm giving him a fighting chance. Honestly, I think Fred's little compromise there was really good. It was like, yeah, just eye for an eye. He threw me into a hell dimension, I'll throw him into a hell dimension.
I was just like, when I say she's a pile of tropes glued together with fetishes, you don't need to monologue at him. Like, he knows exactly what he did. He knows exactly why you're going to shoot him.
Yeah.
So, get it over with. Don't have a big dramatic scene where you yell at him.
Just walk in, hell dimension, plummet, bye-bye.
Yeah. Give him a little wave at the end. Yeah. That's all you needed to do. Like, why are you standing there with a crossbow in his chest?
That's drama. But yeah. I feel like shows need monologuing to fill them out.
I mean, that's fair. Like, you could have filled it out with more banter between Wesley and Lila.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah.
Let's just have a whole show of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just have webisodes.
Yeah.
Just the two of them in his dark apartment arguing about what they're going to order from Thai food.
Yes, Lila, but why Thai again? No, he would be really into Thai food and she'd be sick of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they'd be clients of hers.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Oh, man.
Or she'd be trying to land them as clients because there's demons in the... it's a demon money laundering facility. So she's like doing the... Yeah.
Okay, we're just going to write that show later.
Right.
Okay, so anything else about this, or is it on to spin the bottle?
What was Cordy doing this entire episode? I don't even remember. I think she was nesting.
Yeah, I think so.
I felt really bad for Phantom Dennis.
Yeah, he just got left. Maybe his new family treats him right.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I really feel like they should work on a spell to be able to move him to the hotel.
Something. Like, he could have friends.
He could be very valuable the next time Wolfram and Hart decides to send men with guns there.
Oh, what's he going to do? Open a drawer?
Yes, when someone's trying to aim and a drawer opens, they're going to go, huh? Distractions are helpful.
That's fair. Okay. So yeah, next episode is Spin the Bottle, and it starts out with Lorne talking to an audience at a nightclub where he's being a lounge singer, and telling this story about how sometimes, despite your best intentions, everything goes the fuck wrong. But it wasn't like, until you get to the that last scene, it was just pretty goofy.
Yeah, we had that scene where Cordy is talking to Angel, and she's like, whoever I was, I still am that person. And she says, were we in love?
Oh, he says, were we in love?
Yeah, and she's like, I don't know. No, I'm pretty sure it was her, and then he asks her at the end.
Oh, okay.
Because she doesn't remember.
Yeah, she asked him first, and then at the end he asked her.
Right. Because neither of them know what her answer was going to be.
Right.
So.
And that's where a lot of the angst with Connor and living with him and having minor makeouts with him comes from. She's like, but I think I might have been in love with your dad. But it all seems pretty weird, the way she talks about it. It's like, where the fuck is that coming from?
Yeah, I have no clue.
Because she left the hotel for a reason. This episode is anger making.
Yeah, I get it. It totally is. So, yeah, that happened.
Yeah, Lorne brings us a spell that is guaranteed to bring back her memory, and to be fair, it does.
He has to prep it, though, which is the problem.
Yeah, and there has to be 6 people, and they have to be people who were close to old Cordy.
Yeah.
And so he gets the band back together. He gets Wesley in on it, and he gets the Fred and Gunn show.
Do you know what could have made this so much better?
What?
If Wesley wasn't there, but Xander was.
Oh. Wow. That's the first time you ever said Xander would make anything better.
Yeah.
That said, I think that's a terrible plan.
Oh, well, it didn't go very well the way it went.
What? They accomplished their mission. Yes, a few people almost died, but that's like a Tuesday for them.
Yeah, so they're all sitting around holding hands and doing this chant, and for some strange reason, Cordy decides to get up and smash the bottle.
Well, they were doing the chant, and then something came out of the bottle and made them all wicked high.
Oh, yeah.
And while they were all wicked high, Cordy decides to smash the bottle.
I totally forgot there was Molly vapor in it.
Like, seriously. Like, they were on some mad Molly. And they were into it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Molly's super fun.
Like, if she had just let it ride and let it take its course, it probably would have been fine, and none of them would have turned into their teenage selves. Why?
So here's where I could not follow what was going on because I was so goddamn distracted by a really big inconsistency.
Do tell.
At 17, Cordy had killed vampires and knew who Angel was.
Yes.
Why didn't she remember that?
Because, I don't know.
Because the script said so.
Yeah. Like, it's just so bad.
Yeah.
The only thing I like about this episode is that it shows that as a teenager, Fred was a major pothead.
Yeah. That was a cute little thing.
Like, that was super cute.
Although, being about the same age as Fred, and having been in Texas at that time,
yeah,
the weed was not very good.
Well, no, but you take what you can get.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
Like, it's shocking how bad the weed was. Like, how much you needed to get to feel a buzz.
Oh, it's like our parents' weed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that ditch weed. So.
Ditch weed.
So. Yeah, that was bad. Of course, like, you youngins, you Gen Z people who are smoking all the weed and doing all the drugs, you don't realize how easy you have it. Like, we had it and we would get super paranoid.
Oh, yeah, the paranoia was bad. The dry mouth.
Oh, God, the cotton mouth. Your fucking throat would be scraped raw by your tongue because you kept rubbing it.
Yes. Yes. It was, like, just impossible to get over the dry mouth.
It's like, it swallowed cotton balls.
You would be walking along, kind of stoned, because sometimes you get stoned to go to the beach or something, and you'd be like, I'm going to die if I don't take care of how parched I am. Anyone that knows me knows that I hate tomatoes. I just hate them. I like them if they've been punished ahead of time, like cut up or something. I was stoned off some ditchweed one time walking along, and there was just this big ripe tomato right there. And I tell you what, I picked it right off the vine and ate it. I hate tomatoes. I hate them. But right then, it was so juicy.
Oh my God, this is a traumatic memory for you, isn't it?
It is. Hold me.
No, you're going to ride this out, bitch. You brought it up.
I hate you. But yeah,
the only way out of this is through it, all right?
I ate a thing that normally I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole because I knew it would make me less dry.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Fred is into weed. Lorne is conveniently knocked out again.
At least they acknowledge it. He's like, I'm tied to a chair again?
Yeah.
Guys? Fuck!
Lorne needs better friends.
Lorne needs any friends. These aren't his friends.
Yeah.
These are people that tie him to a chair and beat the shit out of him. Often.
So there's a bunch of misunderstandings, and Wesley is apparently Watcher School starts early. It's like Hogwarts.
Yeah, Watcher School starts early. To be fair, they have established that he comes from a line of Watchers, like his dad's one.
All right. Yeah, so he says that this is a test and there's vampires that he has to take out.
I'm actually super glad they brought that up. That's like a legitimate thing it could have been. Mm-hmm. Especially if he's head boy and shit, he could have extra tests.
Okay, never say head boy again. Every time they said it.
Head boy, head boy, head boy. It's a British thing and it's awful.
Walking home.
It's a British thing and yes, it's awful, but it's what they say. It's better than head girl.
But they both suck. Stop it.
It's only going to get worse. Why is it got to be about gender is what I want to know.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
So, Gunn is saying that he fights vampires because that's what he's been doing his whole life. He does not bring up his sister once.
Right?
Which also, like, it wasn't as big a deal as Cordy suddenly forgetting everything that happened during high school.
Yeah. They must have gotten her in freshman year.
Yeah. And Angel thinks he's Liam.
Well, that's who he was before he was a vampire.
Yeah, and that was just weird.
It was kind of nice to see who he was before vampirism for a while.
For a second, I was like, is he going to forget that he has a soul and try to feed on someone? Is he going to put it, not all the way back to pre-vampire days, but, just somewhere in the middle when he was a terrible vampire?
That would have been interesting.
Yeah, a lot of things would have been interesting. That's not where they went.
Yeah, too bad none of them happened.
So shenanigans ensue because they're on a budget. And,
right. This was a one-room episode, wasn't it?
Well, they went back to the fucking kitchen, which they decided there was a fucking kitchen in this hotel last season. And they forgot that the floor has been destroyed because there's a pool beneath it.
There's so much... Oh, God. This is up there with Fred not being green anymore in the last couple episodes we watched.
Yeah, and Connor shows up.
Because why wouldn't he?
Because,
Cordy screamed.
Yeah, Cordy screamed, and he gets into another fight with Angel.
Yeah, because
This kid is so fucking the worst.
Yeah, and how come he can't just kill Angel? Angel has forgotten all his sweet fighting moves. He's not 200 years of fighting experience guy anymore. He's 17 Angel, who can barely fight his way out of a paper sack. And still he kicks Connor's ass? I don't buy it.
Right.
Just don't. Although I do like the little conversation they have about, you wouldn't believe what a dick my father is. It's like, try me.
All right. So, yeah. And then Fred is left alone with Lauren at some point.
Yeah.
But,
I forget what happens there.
So Gunn gets knocked out in the fight with Angel.
Right.
And then Fred is left with Gunn unconscious and Lauren is like, come on, Chica, look at me. I'm not going to hurt you. And then he finishes the potion and gives her some.
Yes.
Right? But just as he does, and they totally forgot this happened, Gunn comes up from behind them, about to chop Lauren in two.
And she says, no, wait, stop! And I guess her saying stop worked.
I hope so.
Good safe
It looked
word.
like he was beyond the point of no return in that axe swing, though.
Yeah, I mean, you can check it or you can avert it, I guess. There's things you can do, but it seemed pretty dedicated.
He seemed pretty committed.
Yes.
So, and then they barge in on the fight between Angel and Connor and say don't kill anyone, and then they feed them the hummus. I don't know what Wesley and Cordy were up to at this time.
Who's to say?
Angel did try to eat Cordy.
Oh, yeah. Well, he did say he was going to eat people, starting with the women folk.
Yeah.
But he was just kind of talking.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there was a really unnecessary comment about Fred's tits.
I think I blinked that out, and she hasn't really got any.
That was what she...
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because Cordy said she filled out, and she's like, I guess I'm not gonna.
I feel like there was a ripple effect from Julia Stiles in 10 Things I Hate About You, in that now A-cups are sexy. It hadn't hit Angel yet, but we're kind of there now.
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm seeing it a lot. Like, remember that picture I keep showing you of the character from Mass Effect 2 with the harness?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm seeing a lot more, video game characters like that.
Huh.
You know? And Mortal Kombat did a whole thing where, we're shrinking the titties. You know why? Because they're not realistic.
That's fair.
Yeah.
They weren't.
So, yeah. And it also reveals that a lot of men don't know anything about cup sizes.
No, they do not. Guys, if I told you how bras really worked, it would blow your fucking mind.
There were all these screenshots from Twitter. It's like, they couldn't even make her a D cup. This woman is after shrinking, is clearly at least a double D.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is a B cup. No, that is not what a B cup looks like, you dumbass. You know why? Because you've never, ever, 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 ever seen a woman. Ever.
Yeah. Did you know that a D cup on a size 30 torso is a B cup on a size 38 torso? I bet you didn't.
Yep.
The cup size stays the same, but the letters are different. depending on how big you are around in your rib cage. It's crazy, guys. It's nuts. Mm-hmm. Don't think you know about boobs until you're shopping for a set.
Yeah, and I kind of want to punch Joss for that thing. Like I get Cordy, like, oh, look, I've got nice tits. That's fine. But Fred is like, I guess I'll never get tits. Man.
Cordy's are so clearly implants.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it too, but it's not fair for Fred to think she's never going to fill out when all she needs is the number of a good surgeon.
Yeah, that's fair.
For fuck's sakes, guys. For fuck's sakes.
All right. Yeah, so those are our episodes. It ends with Angel asking Cordy if they were in love.
Yeah.
And Cordy says, yes, we were. And she has something she needs to do, and she can't be around him.
Well, she needs to think about things because suddenly all her memories have come crashing back, and things are different now because she was a higher being. And also, when she got her memories back, she felt something awaken.
Yeah, and it's... I want to say, like, Cordy, like, this is going to cost Cordy her life, but how many, like, near misses have we seen where they refuse to knock off any characters? So... I don't even know what's going to go on. Like, it's too dangerous for her. She doesn't want poor Angel to have to lose her, and yeah.
I suppose we'll find out.
Okay. Other than that final thing right there, there's a spare couple lines of dialogue. That is the only progress I feel we've made.
Yes. Cordy got her memories back, and something has awakened.
Yeah.
2 episodes.
Like,
that's it.
There's no fallout from Gunn and Fred's thing.
Nope.
She's not even mad at him because it wouldn't surprise me if these were aired out of order.
Entirely possible. I forget.
Yeah. So, yeah, those are our episodes, guys. Like, I'm sorry that I don't have a whole lot to say about these, but it just feels like Angel is really spinning its wheels and not getting anywhere. Like, I need some traction. And I'm not getting it from this. So, yeah, I know you want me to... I can't even really be angry about it. I'm just bored.
Well, shit's about to go down.
Sure. So, like... remember early Buffy when I said I don't like it when it's trying to be too serious and apocalyptic and, like, when the stakes are too high? Because, like, no, it was at its best when it's being light and fluffy. And it's evolved into something that knows how to handle gravity. Angel was always better when it was dealing with gravity and not as good when it's dealing with light and fluffy. Yeah,
it's trying real hard for light and fluffy here, and it's just missing the mark.
Yeah. So those are our episodes, guys. Sorry I'm not more into it. Like, I promise I'm not walking into this trying to hate it. I'm not like, it is not fun for me to not be excited about something.
Right.
It is not fun for me to be angry. Like, I know last week you guys loved my screaming about Anya. But that was not fun for me. I would much rather enjoy it.
That's fair.
So, yeah. All right. We have things to do and people to forget about.
Or disappoint.
Yes. We will see y'all next week with some more Buffy. Bye!
That was an Unspoiled Network podcast.